1st at 4 p.m. Eastern. And my name is Carolyn Winter. I'm a practitioner of repatterning, and I'm with my colleague and friend Tabitha Crook from Devon, England. Tabitha, welcome.
Thank you.
Tabitha and a number of my other colleagues may join us if they can get into this live broadcast, depending on where they are in the world. But Tabitha is going to serve the role today as the proxy for anyone participating in this session. So as and I may do a little quick recap for all of you who are new to resonance repatterning. This is a process of self-healing, alternative healing, that looks at shifting our patterns so that we resonate with the coherent things that we want in our life, and we stop resonating with the negative. When we match a frequency, positive or negative, that's what we tend to experience. So if we're resonating with world peace is disturbed, then it's a match, then that's where we're at. But if we don't resonate with it, if we fall away, then we stop resonating with the non-violent, the violence in the world, etc. So this is a process of discovering what are the patterns that keep us resonating with what we don't want, and shifting that over to the patterns that we do want. So I invite you, the audience, to follow along. I'll be asking Tabitha questions on behalf of the group. What I invite you to do is write down your answers. I'll ask, what is your issue with peace in the world? What is your personal issue with peace? Write that down for yourself and consider it included in the session. And eventually I'll ask for intentions as well, and those are also be included in the session. So just write down what you want, and energetically, we're in this hologram. Whether you're listening to this live at the moment or you're tuning in later and watching this broadcast, you are included in the session, because time is nonlinear in this hologram. Well, it gives me great pleasure to facilitate this session. I was away on holidays, and when I came back last week and read all the news from Barcelona to the distressed areas in different parts of the States, and even here in Toronto and different parts of the world, I thought, humanity needs a little bit more peace vibrating on the grid. So we better get down to business here and do a repatterning. The idea here is, if we who participate in these sessions resonate with peace in our heart, we upload that vibration to the grid of humanity, because we are all connected. We're all interconnected. And that's what it's all about. So if we're witnessing and experiencing peace being disturbed in the world, that means there's a piece of that is inside us. That's the only way we can know that it even exists, because we're feeling it, we're experiencing it. So it means we have to own that piece, shift it in ourselves, and then it shifts the grid of humanity. So are you ready? Let's get started. Okay, so I'm using something from the Repatterning Practitioners Association, our inner and outer peace repatterning. And let's just start at the beginning. Tabitha, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Good. All right, and I think it's recording. Yes, and of course it is recording automatically. It's good. So I'm checking for the repatterning. When you see me look away, I'm just looking at my notes here. We need to read something from the introduction. We don't. We need orientation from the resonance repatterning system. We don't. We need to review any statements. We don't. We're just going to start with the global peace issues. And I need to identify a category. Actually, we had kind of tried to narrow some of this discussion down for the purpose of the broadcast. And we looked at the Barcelona issue. Yes, is that still the one that we need to deal with? Yeah, so I think everybody's been aware that in the news, there's this horrible situation in Barcelona where innocent people were being hurt by the rage of individuals or a group to further their cause. And we need that to be our proxy statement for where peace is disturbed in the world. We do. So there's countless number of other situations where peace is disturbed, but we're going to use this one to proxy all of them. And I'm going to make the statement. So what I do is I make the statement. Tabitha will repeat it on behalf of the group, and I'll muscle check our resonance with it. So let me just get this together. So Tabitha, say global peace is disturbed.
Global peace is disturbed.
Because of the Barcelona issue.
Because of the Barcelona issue.
Where innocent people have been hurt.
Where innocent people have been hurt.
By the rage of individuals or a group.
By the rage of individuals or a group.
To further their cause.
To further their cause.
We're resonating with that. And of course, that can apply to so many different situations, right, Tabitha? Okay, and so that's our global peace issue. But ultimately, we only see that issue, if you're watching this, because there's something like it. It's a very similar pattern vibrating in us. Now, it will be different for each of us. So first of all, I'll ask you, the audience, to name it for yourself. Where in your personal world is your inner peace disturbed? And here's some of the categories. Tabitha, I'll ask you to consider this for yourself as well. It could be money or finance, meaningful work or career, education, relationship, friendships, belonging, family, safety and security, health or energy, relaxation, creativity, spirituality, or other. So just write down for yourself, where is peace, your own sense of personal peace, disturbed? And consider that included in the session. But Tabitha, tell us for you, where do you find peace is disturbed in your life, personally?
I don't know if this is the only thing I can think of right now that's really coming to mind. Is I'm afraid of men taking out their rage on me. Yeah.
Rage.
I'm afraid of male violence.
And male violence. That's a good one. I'm going to muscle checking. This is it. Yeah. So that can just proxy the group. Everybody might have something completely different, and just know that whatever your issue is, it has something to do with the rage that was experienced in Barcelona. And Tabitha's issue here is proxying the whole group. So for your personal peace issue, Tabitha say, I'm afraid of men taking out their rage on me.
I'm afraid of men taking out their rage on me.
And male violence.
Male violence.
And you're on for that. And of course, that speaks to how many countless situations of victim and persecutor and perpetrators, etc. So anybody can apply this to numerous situations. Okay, so we've got our personal issue. Then we come to the next part where, oh yes, I have to add this other piece on here. My peace is disturbed. I'm just amending your statement there, Tabitha. Tabitha, just say my peace, my personal peace is disturbed.
My personal peace is disturbed.
Because I'm afraid of men taking out their rage on me.
Because I'm afraid of men taking out their rage on me.
And of male violence.
And of male violence.
Yeah, we're still on for that. Now we're going to look at new possibility intentions. What do we want instead of this? And we need to look at the global situation. So Tabitha, just thinking creatively here, we could probably do a session a minute, every minute of the rest of our lifetime to solve world peace. But if we could pick one thing right now, what would we want instead of the situation where, because of the rage of individuals or a group, others have been harmed?
What comes to mind, and it is something I feel really passionate about, and it's to love those parts of society that get demonized. It's like it's them doing it, and often they're the people who need the most love. So, for example, pedophiles or male aggressors or female aggressors. Yeah, so
looking at the situation of Barcelona, would you say
for love,
to
for everyone to know that they are love, so that, and if they hurt someone else, they're hurting themselves. Because I think if everyone's connected to their heart and knows that they are loved and they're valued, they just wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So an awareness of our interconnection.
So we send love. Now that's going to be hard for a lot of people to swallow if we said we send love to the aggressors of the Barcelona incident situation, let's call it.
Yeah.
What else do we need to add to that? And recognize that we are one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Recognize that we are one. So the idea here is that if they received love, they couldn't do it again. Anybody thinking along those lines couldn't do it again if they received the vibration from the grid of humanity of love, because they've been cut off from that grid somehow, from that vibration from the grid.
Yeah.
Goodness. You said earlier we put an end to the story and recognize that we are one. When you hurt one, we hurt all.
Yeah.
And so let's see, we need to add some of this to the statement. We put an end to the story and recognize we are one. Okay, let's start with that.
The story of the persecutor victim.
Let me add that in to the story of persecutor and victim, which is what we have a lot of right now.
Yeah.
And recognize that we are one. And we need this next part. No, we send love to the aggressors of the Barcelona situation and recognize that we are one. Recognizing that we are one. We need to say it any other way. We don't. We need anything else to be added to this statement. We don't. So just say, if you Tabitha, we put an end to the story of persecutor and victim.
We put an end to the story of persecutor and victim.
And recognize that we are one.
And recognize that we are one.
We send love to the aggressors of the Barcelona situation.
We send love to the aggressors of the Barcelona situation.
Recognizing that we are one.
Recognizing we are one.
And that is off. Okay. And now we need the pattern. Oh, do we need any other intentions? We do. Personal intention. So what personal peace intention would you like, Tabitha? Instead of being afraid of men, what do you want instead of that?
I love no matter what.
No matter. There's more details. And we need anything else for Tabitha. We don't. So I invite the viewing audience, whatever your issue was earlier, your own personal peace issue, write down what you want instead of that issue and put it in the present positive tense. What do you want for peace in your heart, for you personally? And it could be for any of those categories I listed before: money, finance, family, friends, groups, belonging, safety, security, health, relaxation, creativity, etc. Whatever it is you want, make an intention. Usually the shorter the better, and always in the present tense. And I'm also checking Tabitha's statement. She needs anything else to be added to that. We don't. So Tabitha, say, I love no matter what.
I love no matter what.
You're off for that. And now we come to the interesting part of this repatterning. Let me write out, it's a statement of pattern awareness. So I'm going to write out the statement first. It's based on what we said earlier. We need to say anything else. We don't. So say, my issue with male violence and rage
My issue with male violence and rage
reflects the world issue of the Barcelona situation.
reflects the world issue of the Barcelona situation.
We're on for that. Do you get that connection, Tabitha?
Yeah, definitely.
You see how that pattern in you of being afraid and possible bad things that could happen related to what's happened in the world?
Yeah, because it could happen at any moment. It's the kind of random aspect of it.
That's right. That's right. And very violent, and people get seriously hurt or die.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so take a deep breath. That's a big one to own up. So for you at home watching, whatever the world issue is, look at it as only issue of your own personal issue is somehow connected to that bigger world issue. Tabitha, I don't know about you, but that example of road rage really makes a strong connection here. Can you say a little bit about that? How does road rage relate to the Barcelona situation?
Well, I'm currently not driving. I don't have a car, but when I did drive, I was quite an aggressive driver. I used to get very impatient, and I definitely dehumanized the other drivers. I didn't see them as another human being. I didn't stay in a state of love. I was in a state of rage and just already fuming. I would swear, but yeah, just be really aggressive. And yes, wow. I didn't kill anyone, but it was a very strong charge.
And road rage is really a serious problem here in North America. I know it is here in Ontario. And imagine that if we could free people of that frequency of rage, how it could diffuse some of these massive world peace disturbances where groups of people are being wiped out because of a vehicle driving into a crowd, for example. It's the same pattern, it's the same vibration. So if we clear that vibration in us, we clear it for the world. We upload that frequency to the grid of humanity. Okay, let's move on then to check if there's any other frequency patterns needed from the resonance repatterning system. And I'm getting an off for that. So we've identified our patterns. We need to check for a spiral up. We need an actual repatterning at this point. Yeah, we do. So I check my catalogs for the different repatternings, primary patterns and conscious patterns. Yes. And we need, what is the repatterning? So this is going to be about you, Tabitha. We'll use you as a proxy for the group. And we're going to do breath, compensation, reptilian brain, parental earlier. It's called integration for growth repatterning. We need to read about it. We don't. We actually need the whole repatterning. We do. Sometimes we just need a couple of statements from it, but in this case, we'll do the whole repatterning. This is a great one to do where there's been some growth, you spiral up to a new level of well-being, and then you can't hold the new connection, and you wind up spiraling back down. So this gets at what that's about. So Tabitha, I know you've agreed to be an open lens here, using your world to proxy the group. So whatever comes up for you is going to proxy everybody else, and it could be just about anything. But we'll try to think of things that are kind of have a more global fit. And I'm checking on B, little a, little b. So it's very, very general. 1, 2. It is the first part, second part, third part. It's work relationships. So Tabitha say, I have difficulty maintaining a high state of well-being.
I have difficulty maintaining a high state of well-being.
In my work relationships.
In my work relationships.
And you're on for that, as we all are. So let me just write that out first. Under that. And of course, the elegance of the repatterning system is we don't really actually need to get into all of those details. It will be something different for each of you. If you have some challenges at work, write them out for yourself. They're being cleared. All right, we need to check on how we deplete our energy. So when you have some challenges at work, Tabitha, how do you deplete your energy to cope? I mean, for me, it's always a chocolate bar will do. But what is it for you?
Probably worrying, overthinking things.
If we need anything else? No, say I deplete my energy by worrying.
I deplete my energy by worrying.
You are on for that. So for you at home, it could be things like worrying, like Tabitha, or taking drugs, drinking alcohol, having too little sleep, not exercising, not breathing, smoking, quarreling, watching too much TV, especially violent TV, talking too much, buying things you don't need, being depressed, drinking too much coffee or tea, etc. Any place where you're overdoing something as a way to compensate with the pain of, you know, the challenge of dealing with the work issue. It seems to give us some short-term relief, but it really doesn't solve the problem. So it depletes our energy in the end. Okay, so we need to check on a brain area involved. We don't. We need to check on why we keep going to this place of downward cycling. We do. We need A, B. Section B. So it says, let's say in terms of overall well-being, our improvement probably feels strange or unfamiliar. You know, if you've gotten to a new place in therapy or a new place in your work environment, and you just had a promotion, or whatever, it may feel strange or unfamiliar to you. So returning to a depleted energy state, the place where you were before, feels familiar and comfortable. Even though consciously you dislike the way you used to be, and you want positive change. So remember, you probably have millions of neural connections in your brain for the old depleted way of being. And you are just beginning to create new neural connections for the positive change that you want. So the statement is, number one, being, feeling, having, and it's foreign, unfamiliar. So it's having and unfamiliar. So Tabitha say, having a new state of well-being.
Having a new state of well-being.
Is unfamiliar.
Is unfamiliar.
So I resist it and return to my old symptoms of distress.
So I resist it and return to my old symptoms of distress.
Even though I dislike them.
Even though I dislike them.
You're on for that. Okay, so let me get that statement written out. Okay, so it's having. It's funny, I get my hands on the keyboard and one notch over, and then I'm just writing gobbledygook. Having a new state of well-being is unfamiliar. So I resist it and return to my old symptoms of distress, even though I dislike it. That's on. All right, we need anything else from this section? We don't. We need to check on why we're unable to sustain the neural pathways that supports coherence and vitality. No, we don't. So there's two questions there, but we don't need it. We need the planetary frequencies, yes. So this is all so apropos today when we've had an eclipse, the sun and the moon. But in this section, we look at how the frequencies of the various planets affect the grid of humanity and us individually. We need Sun, Pluto, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, Earth, Uranus, Moon. Ah, of course, the moon. And this is a non-coherent quality. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Tabitha say, I manipulate through guilt.
Yes, sorry. I manipulate through guilt.
Yes, you resonate with that. So do we all, through guilt. So that's on. We need anything else from the moon, from Neptune, from Venus? No. I'm going to skip the section on earlier experiences because it doesn't usually work in a group. But if you feel personally that an earlier experience is part of your situation with inner peace, you might consider a session with one of our practitioners over at the Repatterning Practitioners Association. We need the intention instead. So Tabitha, what do you want for an intention instead? What do you want instead of work being a challenge, or that your energy drops when you deal with work issues? Or work relationships. Work relationships.
Just all my work relationships are a joy, harmonious. That we mutually, it's mutually supportive. We support each other to thrive. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. And support each other to thrive. That's this morning, which is lovely. So say, all of my work relationships are a joy.
All of my work relationships are a joy.
We're mutually supportive and support each other.
We're mutually supportive and support each other.
To thrive.
To thrive.
And we're off for that lovely intention. We need a physical type intention for dancing. No, we don't. We need the coherent planetary quality. So I'll check on that. It's sun. No, it's surprising. I would have thought the sun would come up of all days. Pluto, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Jupiter, Earth, Uranus, Moon, Neptune, it's Venus. One, beauty, the arts, love, partnerships. Tabitha, say, I enjoy partnership.
I enjoy partnership.
You're off for that. We need any other Venus qualities? We don't. You know, I look at the list of these positive qualities and I want them all. It's like a box of chocolates or something, right? But we just need the one. I enjoy partnership. Of course, that probably relates for those of you watching to your work situation. We need the neurotransmitter peptide involved. We don't. Something from the brain structure, brain wave area is needed. No. We need a positive mental attitude that will allow us to spiral up. We do. It's 1 through 5. 1, 2, 3. Tabitha, say, I'm ready to be empowered.
I'm ready to be empowered.
And to create empowering relationships.
And to create empowering relationships.
Oh, and we're off for that. All right, we need anything else from 1 through 18. We need to know what we need in terms of cleansing and recharging our system. We don't. So now we need to complete the session by doing a spiral up tool. Yes. So we'll go to spiral up. So we have this lovely catalog of things to do that shifts our energy. Chloe's got this, Chloe Wordsworth, author of this system, has a brilliant sort of body of work that summarizes the best of the best from many healing systems into exercises everybody, absolutely everybody can do for themselves. And so we're taking it from that book, 127 energizing options to be your best right now. It's called Spiral Up. We need A, B, C, D, E. Oh, this is the second time today. It's breath options. We need 1, 2. We again need the left nostril breath exercise. So that I'll have to blow my nose.
This is the third time I will have done it today. I did a focus of consciousness this morning, and that was what I needed to do then, just one statement.
Isn't that coincidental? There must be something in it for all of us. I'm going to read for the audience what this is all about as soon as I get there. 158. 158. So with this breath, it's called the left nostril breathing breath. This breath, done 3 to 10 minutes daily, cleanses the 70,000 energy channels or nadi and is said to make the body healthy, lustrous, and strong. It's called the Annulam Viloma. That's, I think it's Indian name, East Indian. Clears negative thinking and has a calming effect on the mind. This breath has a beneficial effect in almost all disease conditions, and after doing it 10 minutes a day, 2 times daily for 4 months, it is said to clear 30 to 40% of the buildup in our arteries. So interesting. Easy thing to do if you have some issues there. So nevertheless, for our repatterning today, here's how you do it. You take one hand, put your index finger on your forehead. That will activate the brow chakra energy center. And then you block your right nostril with your thumb. So it's like that. You breathe in on the left side. And at the top of the inhale, block your left nostril with the next finger over. Unblock the right and breathe out. So you're always breathing in on the left and out on the right. As soon as you breathe out, block the right, breathe in again on the left. Tabitha, you're good? So we're going to do this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I'll take my glasses off for this. And let's see if we can think world peace while you're doing this. And then when you're done, take a deep integrating breath. Those of you watching at home, you could probably feel things lifting off your shoulders already. Good. Tabitha, how are you doing?
Really good, yeah. Excellent.
Good. I'm checking we need any other modalities. We really don't. So we're going to go back to the beginning and see what we've shifted. And now, even though we've done a repatterning using Tabitha's personal information, as we go through those statements, think about how that affects you personally. I'm sure there's something in it for you. Also think about how this ties in with peace in the world from what we've described earlier. So let's go from the beginning there, Tabitha. Say, global peace is disturbed because of the Barcelona issues.
Global peace is disturbed because of the Barcelona issues.
Innocent people have been hurt by the rage of individuals or a group.
Innocent people have been hurt because of the rage of individuals or groups.
To further their cause.
To further their cause.
And that's clear. Good. And even though that's the truth, it's still out there, we're not resonating with that or giving it energy. So we're trying to neutralize it here. And now on the personal level, and for each of you with your personal issues, say, Tabitha, say, my personal peace is disturbed.
My personal peace is disturbed.
Because I'm afraid of men taking out their rage on me.
Because I'm afraid of men taking out their rage on me.
And of male violence.
And of male violence.
And that is now cleared. Now the next one, say, we put an end to the story of persecutor and victim.
We put an end to the story of persecutor and victim.
And recognize that we are one.
Recognize that we are one.
We send love to the aggressors of the Barcelona situation.
We send love to the aggressors of the Barcelona situation.
Recognizing that we are one.
Recognizing that we are one.
We're on for neutralizing negativity by sending out that kind of vibration of love. It doesn't mean that we condone what's been done, but we're sending our love. So now, Tabitha, say, I love no matter what.
I love no matter what.
And you're on for your own personal statement. And everybody else say your own personal peace intention as well. Know that it's included. Now, Tabitha say, my issue with male violence and rage
My issue with male violence and rage
reflects the world issue of the Barcelona issue.
reflects the world issue of the Barcelona issue.
And we're on for recognizing, I don't know how I checked that before, but it's to be on for recognizing we are responsible. We have the pattern, we have to change the pattern in us to change it out there in the world. None of this pointing at everybody else. 3 fingers are always pointing back at us. So we take responsibility. Tabitha say, I have difficulty maintaining a high state of well-being.
I have difficulty maintaining a high state of well-being
In my work relationships.
in my work relationships.
And that's cleared. Now say, I deplete my energy by worrying.
I deplete my energy by worrying.
That's cleared. Say, having a new state of well-being is unfamiliar.
Having a new state of well-being is unfamiliar.
So I resist it and return to my old symptoms
So I resist it and return to my old symptoms
of distress,
of distress,
even though I dislike it.
even though I dislike it.
We're cleared for that, thank goodness. Next, say, I manipulate through guilt.
I manipulate through guilt.
And that's cleared. Say, all of my work relationships are a joy.
All of my work relationships are a joy.
We are mutually supportive and support each other
We're mutually supportive and support each other
to thrive.
to thrive.
Yeah, we're on for that. Now say, I enjoy partnership.
I enjoy partnership.
On for that. And lastly, say, I'm ready
I'm ready
to be empowered
to be empowered
and to create empowering relationships.
and to create empowering relationships.
And you're on for that. We are all on. So all the statements have cleared. We need a positive action for the group to do afterwards. We don't, so we're all set. This session is complete. We are complete and we're repatterned. How are you feeling, Tabitha?
Great. I haven't got a care in the world. No.
I want you to just declare that I am complete with being a proxy for the group.
I'm complete with being a proxy for the group.
I'm Tabitha Crook, here and now.
I'm Tabitha Crook, here and now.
There you go. So now you're landed back in your body, you're you, and we are repatterned. Tabitha, any thoughts, last thoughts before we end this session?
Just it, and I would love to do this regularly. I just think even it might seem an insignificant thing to do, but I'd really trust that it has a massive effect that we're just becoming aware of.
Yeah.
Really
True
powerful.
True enough. So everyone, thank you for lending your field of energy to this process. Whether you're listening in real time or joining us later, know that you're part of the hologram if you write out your issues and intentions for this session, and know that they've been included and you are repatterned as well. Thank you so much. I'm Carolyn Winter for the Repatterning Practitioners Association. Bye for now.